Hey, this is Shane. All right, so I thought maybe I would have a more clear plan or direction to head in with this series, but I truly am just going to have to stumble through it and just kind of ramble as I'm doing this stuff. So I was able to finish the script for the first visual novel. It's very, very, very short. You can see it there. It's very tiny, and it's not true dialogue, but what it is just kind of improvised lines. It's like an outline of what I know I want to say, have the characters say. And I'm going to use that as the basis for a recording session, where then I'll record performances, and then I'll kind of solidify the dialogue from there. I'm a very audio-based writer, which I've had to kind of come to accept. As much as I love the imagery of slaving over like a keyboard, I just do my best thinking out loud. So that's how I approach dialogue typically. But I know what I want to do, and I know enough about the story that I now want to start essentially the equivalent of scouting locations. I showed you Unreal Engine, the environments that I kind of picked out in the last episode. Okay, so that's on the y-axis. Ugh. So this episode, I'm gonna go through the process of what I would do next to scout locations and kind of cultivate scenes for this little. In case you forgot, I'm gonna be making a visual novel, even though I'm using Unreal Engine and all this stuff where you could like create massive open worlds and controllable characters. The first little game is just a click advance the story. I'm starting small because I want it to be fun and I want it to be a complete story. I'm focusing largely on story this time around. I don't ever want to, this is like a personal philosophy, but I don't ever again want to try to start any kind of project without the story first. Because I've messed around in game dev before, in the world of like making games and stuff, but story was always secondary to mechanics or learning the mechanics. Oh, you poor little janky boy. I'm just gonna have to like create a whole ton of corrective sheet cakes, just sheet cakes for everyone. Corrective shape keys for these guys, because I don't. They were designed. I talked about this a little bit last time. They were designed originally to have emission shaders used on them, so that all this little geometry warping here that normally requires corrective shape keys would be essentially invisible, because they would have a black outline and they'd be cell shaded. And because I'm not doing that, because I want the atmospheric effects of Unreal Engine, I kind of have to decide what I'm going to do about how to animate them, which is fine. Let's see here. Now I want to pick. Oh, so what I'm doing now is I'm creating what I call dummies. I'm going to I want to make him sad. Wait, can I do little underlids? Oh, those are too high. Those are higher than I would prefer for a stock image. You know what? I'm just gonna go with that. So what I'm gonna do, what I do typically is, I need to save. Oh shoot, I need to just save as. All right, go to the assets here, save this as, like the working title for any kind of game I make in this, I'm just calling them Lo-Fi Fables. That's gonna be seen over and over again, but that's just kind of like, the code name is pretentious, but you know, that's like the internal, that's what I say to myself in my head when I decide what I need to work on. What am I doing? Oh, dummies. So what I do is I create these dummies. I'm in object mode. Actually, let's hide that. Do that. Oh, not you. Get out of here. Basically, let's see if I can join the mesh. The after object is not selected armature. I don't care about any of that. Why can't I join? Not selected armature. I think I have to apply all of this cannot be applied to a mesh with shape keys. How? Why have I forgotten how to do this? I don't really want to. Oops. What have I done? I don't really want to apply every single shape key on every object here just to merge them. You're making this difficult for me. Okay, so this is this is tough because the thing about Unreal Engine is that you can import rigs. You can't. Oh, it's so confusing. It's so hard to explain. Okay, let's get all these bones open and visible. Every single stupid bone that I need. All right, move this over here, and then I have to. I don't know why. So in Unreal Engine, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just part of the design and it's something I hate and I'll forever have to live with, but you cannot, for whatever reason, you cannot import a character with shape keys if the shape keys are keyframed at the top of the animation. They need to be, for whatever reason, every shape key needs to be keyframed at a neutral position and then keyframed at the position you want it to. So if I import him with this keyframe at 1, his eyes won't be open, and they won't be open ever. It's infuriating. I don't know why it happens. Let's just do 6,000 frames and keyframe. Don't do that. I don't know why it happens. I don't know what the deal is. I hate it, but I've never found a workaround. If you are smarter than me and you know the answer, please leave it in the comments. I invite everybody who knows more than I do to attempt to embarrass me because I'm very ignorant and self-taught. So anything that makes me look like a fool is education, and I like that. So educate me. All right, 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for angry. Oh, that's sad. Let's do angry squint. These are just generic expressions that I know work for the character for what I'm trying to do. We're starting with an exterior shot. His skeletons are almost all selected. All right, let's location, rotation, and scale. Look, I always default to location. Just this keyframes in Blender are important because you have to keyframe every. There's location, rotation, and scale. And if you don't keyframe the scale, and then you later try to like scale something up, it won't work, or it'll scale from the default state. It's infuriating. So I always just default to location, rotation, scale, even if I don't adjust the scale or the rotation, because it's easier for me to clean up useless keyframes after the fact than it is to try to animate something and have it not animate on the timeline that I want it to. And then once you hit location, rotation, and scale, you have the ability to just go to available, which is like the very first one. And that just means everything that's been keyframed in the previous frames. So available is just, what you want to go for. But first you gotta lay down the groundwork of everything. All right, perfect. I don't know why you defaulted to nothing. I don't see any keyframes. That freaks me out. But it's what I want. I have to push this back because one of the things is, that's why there's 2 keyframes in one. Two in one. Let's push this one. Let's override this one though, because this one might have more data. And we'll just do that on the first frame. And I don't know why. Okay, that just means every once in a while. So I hit Shift D to drag a duplicate keyframe, and when I don't see a big orange bar, that means there's a discrepancy between what's being not everything is keyframed equally. It's very strange. So sometimes I have to do it again. Then when I hit D, no, nothing. What if I drop this arrow down? I don't know what's happening, but I don't care. I don't think I care. It bothers me because it worked fine with old gum over there, but not him. That's the sort of thing where it's like, what are you doing? What's going on, Blender? But I don't care. We'll find out later if it becomes an issue. This is already taking forever just for some dummy stuff. Okay, so there. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I need to go to the dope sheet action editor. Oh, look at that. There's all the... Oh, no, I don't know. Sorry. I thought maybe I understood because the object transformation wasn't keyframed and that's what was preventing the orange bar. But the only way to keyframe the object transformation is by going outside of the rig. So I don't know what was going on. I thought I understood and then I don't. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm going to rename this as Chew Dummy. Do I need to push it down? I don't know. So what I'm doing right now is Blender in animation is super weird. It's super, I don't know. To me, it's janky. It took forever to learn. I'm not the biggest fan, but there's nothing I can... Well, look at that. The object transform... Did you see that? The object transform does have the bar, so that must be it. I have no idea why the object trans... Maybe because I didn't keyframe the object transform? I understand this is like a boring tributary, but it's just something that... Look at that. Look at that. Drag it down so it's aligned. And then if we go back to the timeline, are we going to see that this is the timeline? And that is what we wanted. Okay. Back to the dope sheet. Back to the action editor. Dummy. Okay. Well, let's spell it correctly. All right. Yeah, let's push it down. I'll explain what I'm doing with that in a second. When I go to the nonlinear animation. You create like a set of actions, a set of animations in the action editor, and then you push them down to the nonlinear editor, or the NLA, nonlinear animation. I don't know what it stands for. I just know that it's difficult to traverse, and I can never find what I'm looking for, and I have to scroll forever. There. So this is, I don't remember. This is like a chunk of animation that you can export and use in Unreal Engine. And what makes it interesting is that you can export as many of these as you want and apply them to your Unreal Engine rig and use those in any combination, in any order. Oh, you're just black because you're not selected. All right. So now I have to do these one at a time. And this is not the way I was hoping to do this, but wait, where's Gumbo? Oh, Gumbo is in Chewy. That's no good. Don't like that. Are they both out? No, what is this collection thing? Oh, it's trash. You trash. All right. Why is there a font in... Okay, I understand what's happening. This was from the title. Yeah, I don't want to accidentally import garbage into, and I don't need these. Oh my goodness. Let's make a trash bin. So I just pressed M to bring up a new collection. Trash. Just for stuff so I don't have to look at it. Hey, you belong in the trash, even the camera. Okay, so now I have Gumbo and Chewy, little Chewy boy. That was needless. But the purpose of all of that was just, oh my God, get out of my way. Because I need to select it. Is everything selected? Yes. So I'm going to save, export, FBX. We're in Lo-Fi Fables. All right, we're just gonna limit this to the selected objects. Just the armature and the mesh, that's all I want. And smoothing, normals only. I can't remember Smoothing, apply modifiers, maybe. It's been so long. I only want the deform bones. I don't really know what leaf animations are. Bake animations, I think I can get away with just the NLA strips. Now I believe. Then rename all of this. Oh, that's why I was spelled dummy with an IE, because plural is okay. Gum dummy. Gum. Okay. Don't. I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good day. All right, let's. Oh yeah, it has to think. Takes a while to export. So instead of just blindly assuming that I did that correctly, because there's a good chance I didn't. Also, for an animation cycle of just being held still, that sure took a while. Let's go into Unreal Engine. And I have this up. The next thing I'm going to do during this session is pare it down. Because for me and my story, I don't want to spoil anything in case people want to play it. But the exterior I imagined as a much lonelier, much less populated, darker town. So all those lights have to go, and like 75% of the houses have to go. I have to pick a house and pick a crop. I've already picked carrots because gum is going to be in the carrot patch. Let's create a new folder. But I have to figure out if those carrots are... Why can't I right click? Go add. Is it really that clumsy? What is happening? Why is nothing showing up? Why are none of my menu options showing? I have to go to content maybe. And then content will let me, okay, that's, yeah. So apparently, okay, character dummies. If you just watched me struggle with that, that was just it deciding that all is not, you can't modify anything. You have to modify stuff one level lower. Why they would even include an unmodifiable directory is beyond me. But drag files here, or right click to create content. Let's see if we can just import from Lo-Fi Fables assets. Gum dummy, let's see what happens. Boy, I don't like saying that. Gum boy, all right. He has no skeleton. We do want to import the skeletal mesh and the import mesh. I think we can compute normals. We definitely want to import morph targets. Oh my gosh, this took me forever. In Blender, they're called shape keys. In Unreal Engine, they're called morph targets. And if you don't import the morph targets, then all of your shape keys will not import. It's unbearable. I can't remember about normals. There's a good chance that he's going to come in looking janky. We do want to import animations. The animation length can just be the exported time. None of that stuff matters. I think that's everything I need other than, materials. Right. It's going to search, it's going to search locally. Well, let's see what happens. I'll import it and see if it is smart enough to pull in the material. It might not be, which means I have to manually drag in the image, but we'll see. No smoothing group, that might be something. Texture name clash, okay. Mouth crap. Okay, this all looks terrible and wrong. And it's not generating thumbnails. Mouse final, mouse final, mouse are the textures, okay. Okay. So you can see what I was talking about here. If I open them up here, I forgot to, you can see, that's wrong. I have to create the mouth, of course. So I'm looking at this, looking at the normals. You can see the eyelids look a little bowed. You can see he looks like a friggin' disaster. All right, but then if you look at the animation, I lost thumbnails again, huh? Okay, if you look at the animation, he's in the pose, but his mouth is a nightmare. That can be fixed. I don't know what that... I have to create the material for the mouth though. And this is still thinking. So because I use, oh, look at that. How lovely. I'm very grateful that that worked out, but I'm very unhappy about whatever these lines are because they're not there in here. Okay, so texture, alpha. I think this is all okay. I don't think I need to worry about any of this. But what I do need to do is, this material is okay. Actually, let's do this. Let's if you hold down 1 and click, you get just like a parameter from 1 to 0 where you can, for whatever reason, in Unreal Engine, you can't just adjust the settings in their default shader. You have to attach something to allow you to adjust things. It's like, what? Why? So I do want the specular to be 0 because that's silly. I'm gonna make the roughness 1 so that it just looks a little, for now it looks just better to me. I'm just gonna save that and close it. And that's sort of a precursor to the more advanced modification of the material of the mouth. Oh my gosh. These are such simple characters. You're my sanity. I can feel it slipping away. Let's pull open this mouth. Let's see what is wrong. So, this is very odd, but very cool. I don't remember how to navigate. Oh, I have to right click, okay. In Blender, middle click allows you to drag around a window. In Unreal Engine, it's right click. So, you know, if you're ever working back and forth between the two softwares, just know that you're not gonna have a good time ever. I do like the idea of his mouth being emissive because they're not very bright, but I'm gonna break that for now. We just need the 1. Those lines do not exist. Am I crazy? No, they do not, okay. I think it's just because it's not, so, oops, what happened? Oh, I just clicked off of it. Let me full screen this so I can see what's happening here. So, sampler type, alpha? No. Color is fine, but the material type, no. Let's see here. There's something I'm missing. I think maybe it's under the actual generic. Here we go. So blend mode, alpha composite. I do want this pre-multiplied with alpha. So, and then I want, A stands for alpha, and I want the alpha here to go into opacity. Why would you guys? Why would you? I know it's meaningless, but why would you refer to it as alpha in one place and then opacity in another? Okay, so I'm still seeing these bizarre lines that don't exist otherwise. Default lit, maybe unlit? Oh no. I guess default lit, but I'm still seeing, well, let's save, because this is a glitch. I've never had this issue before, and I don't know what the issue is. It could have something to do with the texture itself, but those lines shouldn't exist. And they should go away because they make me sad. Although, you know, this is a dummy, so I may figure that issue out off camera. The important thing is that you got to see me stumble through making a material in Unreal Engine that was simply an alpha blend. It should be very simple, but it was quite a struggle. Closed. What? Oh my gosh. Let's see what he looks like. That's fine. So you can see a little like stripe, like he's got like he's like snot sideways. I'll fix that later. The important thing is that for the next 6,000 frames, he's held like this. So it's the equivalent of a dummy. It's not the way I normally do it, but wasn't that exciting. Now let's go back to Blender and do it for Chewy, which should be just as easy as grabbing everything and exporting it just like last time. Chewy. Chew dummy. And everything is the same. Smoothing. What was that? Let's try fade. I don't remember. I wish I could remember what the setting was to not get any errors when you import stuff into Unreal Engine, but I just don't. I just don't do this often enough to have it totally memorized. I wish I did, but import, no, there he is. All right, do not use that skeleton. This is another thing too, is that for whatever reason, Unreal Engine will, not only is that the wrong thumbnail, but Unreal Engine will often try to get you to reuse skeletons. Don't ever do it. Like for different characters, don't even bother. Always make sure you clear that out. Choose skeleton is nothing like Gums. Completely different. I mean, they're not completely different, but they're different enough to where you can't copy and paste animation data from one to the other. How about we import normals? You know what? I think import normals is what I want, not calculate. Calculate gets you, or compute. Compute gets you in trouble because it tasks Unreal Engine with trying to calculate how the smoothing should look on the mesh data and like the direction of the normals, which I absolutely cannot speak on because I just don't understand it. But okay, yeah, whatever. Wait, animation length is not compatible with the import frame rate. Animation has to be frame border aligned. Did you not import the animation? Did I forget to check something? Let's look and see. Yeah, it looks like they didn't import Jack. So can I undo? It's gonna keep trying. Worthless. Absolutely worthless. I don't know what to delete. I hate how messy this process is. All right. Yeah, I want to overwrite it, but I want... Oh, no. Ah, you suck. Okay. Well, at least I can see him. And he looks okay. He looks exactly the same as... Yeah, just screw that. Master material 01. I don't remember which one is the right one, but it doesn't matter. So, let's try this. Let's try this again. No skeleton. Go to the animation. Animation length. Animated time? I've never had an issue with importing animations before. They've never tried to make me feel weird about it. That's a whole new... What are you talking about? That's a whole new error I've never seen before. And we have to investigate. Yeah, get out of my face. What is happening? Is it if I unselect? I wonder if it's something as absurd as me having Gumboy's animation data selected instead of his when I imported him. There is a good chance that that's all it was, people. That's how finicky this world is, and that's why so few people make the effort to make cartoons. Not worth my sweat. Wow, that's new too. Okay, that was just it thinking. A little scary. Give it a second to overwrite. What? Yeah, okay, it's been time. Let's see if this is the right one. I should have renamed it something different just so I knew. And let's fix the exported time. Like, you just be normal. Don't. Animation length. Import frame rate. What is this? This is nothing. It's not a real error. All right, let's... What am I seeing? What am I missing that you're seeing and complaining about? What if it's just that I need another folder? And there's conflicts. But I've never had this issue. Let's do chew test. This is a bummer. Especially because I'm not even using Unreal Engine for any kind of game stuff. So what are you doing to me? Why is your animation gone? Here. This. Let's tab into it. Ugh. Let's tab into it. Oh, don't. Tab into it and bring up a dope sheet so we can actually tap into it, you weirdos. Okay. What is that keyframe? I didn't mean to do that. So you're complaining about the time being weird. Is that because there's a keyframe on 0? Is that because I am seeing, wait, bone circle. Okay, maybe it is because of some of this stuff. Maybe because it's just messy and all over the place. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then tab out. Now, technically speaking, where are the mouse? They're right there. Okay. So, my just in case you want to know what's happening, I zoom out, don't see mouse, zoom in, see mouse. That's clipping. Go to the item. No, I would need the. I guess I don't remember how to change the clipping of the viewport. No, wait. Would it be under view? Maybe. Yeah. Usually I just kind of go 20 million and then see what happens. So then, that's weird. I don't know. I don't understand why it wouldn't just let me see what I want to see. There's supposed to be a clipping issue, but I guess it's just a dumb glitch. All right, now let's see what happens when we try this one final time. Because if this doesn't work, and it stops me in my tracks, I can't keep making the video. I'll stop it. I'm comfortable with a certain amount of troubleshooting in these little fake devlogs, but not to the point to where it doesn't teach anything, if that makes sense. If I encounter an issue and it takes me a couple of minutes and I fix it, cool. You get to watch me kind of go through my thought process, my thinking process and you get to see just how painful this stuff can be. That can't be good. Double the size? There's no way that's right. Okay, whatever. And let's see what happens. Let's see what I've done. See what the error is. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I don't think any of those are real errors. Oh, but, doo-doo-loo, I saw no animation error. So, okay, I see what happened. It's importing. I think I forgot to check some boxes. Kind of wait for some of this stuff to load. None of these materials are necessary because I can actually use the material. One of the fun things about putting gum and choose material on the same texture is that I don't have to do things twice. I can. I guess you can see he auto colored. His coloring works, so they found the texture. No, they didn't. They're using this master material that it auto created. Okay, so that means I would like to. The scale. Why do I get no details? Why do I get no details? No, not the skeleton. Yeah, you can see that's what the issue is. Wrong material. I want to use I'll have to rename. Okay. Let's rename this. Gum Chew. True. All right. Now when we open up the skeletal mesh, click on him. See how this says master material? Even though it shows, I wish it didn't because it's wrong. We're looking for Gum Chew True. Now you see how the roughness went up and the specular turned off. That is he's now in line with gum. And we just, CHFB, CHFA. Oh no. FA is an expression, FB is an expression. Which of these is correct? That looks fine to me. That looks fine too. Okay, it must just be a conflict with something that I'm unaware of. Now the mouth, he has no mouth. Okay, we need to create a mouth material for him. Ugh, look at all this excess junk that's all wrong. So I do have to recreate his mouth. Right click to drag around. I do have to recreate his mouth because he uses, even though it's all on the same page, it uses different UV locations. So it's not opaque. This is an alpha composite. Default lit is fine. We figured that part out. If I drag RGBA into alpha, no, it does not do anything I want. There we go. Those lines really bother me, and I don't understand them. Maybe I've just never noticed them before, but they're wrong and they don't exist in the image, and it's clearly has something to do with the texture. Let me just explore the texture real quick. What are you guys doing? Why are you doing this? Compression settings? Was there something? Alpha? No. Okay, I'm sorry. Give me back what I want, though. I guess... Darn. It really makes me sad. It just makes me sad because it's like... Wait, can I secretly see those streaks? Or is it my imagination? You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's defer compression. I don't know what that did. It's okay. There can't be an error. That's not possible. It's because I deferred compression. Is that what you're talking about? It unchecked deferred compression for me. Okay. Do I have to delete this and... Image, texture... Texture sample, is that what I'm looking for? Okay. Base color and opacity. We good now? We are not. What have I done? Ugh, this is such a bummer. What is happening here? I have to undo this because I don't know what I did. No error. There's no error. I promise you there's no error. That's what I want. Default. This is getting so boring. Okay. No, don't save. Just back off. Let's just try it again. Since it imported two images, I guess I can... Why is it so bright? Stop doing that. There. Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows what I did? But at least it looks normal. So I know that was boring and weird, but you know, I think I might actually stop this because this is like getting to be a long video, and I haven't even started editing the town for what I want to do. This is all just importing the dummies. I don't know, there may be some benefit to you watching me do this. I'm not sure. I mean, if you ever tried, if you ever import something from Blender to Unreal Engine. Oh my gosh, where's his mouth? Are you kidding me? All that work for nothing. Here's him with his mouth. Where's his mouth? Okay, I did all that, and I have no idea why his mouth isn't showing up. Okay, that's just too much. That's too much work and too much confusion. There's no reason why that should have happened. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. And once I have, I'll make another video of me exploring and editing the field. At the very least, these series of videos will be a testament to the frustration I had to endure just to get a bunch of JPEGs for a visual novel. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Hi, it's me. I wanted to create a little addendum to that last video because I found the issue and it's super important. Well, one, I was dumb and accidentally created a duplicate version of him somehow, so I was importing 2 copies of him into Unreal Engine. But more importantly, the reason his mouth wasn't showing up is because of this over here. So each of his mouths are a separate piece of geometry. The issue here is under shape keys. Now, when you're importing from Blender into Unreal Engine, you cannot have shape keys on different pieces of geometry be given the same name. See how they all say basis and key 1? That cannot be, because what's going to happen is it's going to collapse all of those into a single shape key and a single basis, and you're going to lose all of that data. So I have to go through and rename every single one of these shape keys, give them all a unique identifier, the same way I already did with the eyelids and the expressions, in order for them to import correctly. So I just want to give everybody a heads up, because that's important and it's stupid. So in case you ever want to, use Blender and Unreal Engine, that's a very, that took me forever to figure out. All right, I'll see you guys next time.